Hey, you know what's so fun in our community is that Kurt does the whole 3, 2, and then points. I needed to share that. Hey, it's the Bears of a Certain Age. I wanted to give you a little outtake at the beginning. Scott and I are here to make your day even better. So it must be a Monday, your favorite day of the week. And we love you for joining us. How are you doing, Scott?
I am doing fantastic. It's a great start to October here. I can't believe we're in October already. Oh, September. It's September. I don't even know what month it is.
Don't rush my birthday, my friend.
Oh my
I don't want
gosh,
to get old
September.
yet.
We're in September. I can't forget. I'm getting ready for spooky season, so I had to get ready for the fall.
Well, and you live in the perfect house, but also the perfect place because the colors get so vibrant out there.
Yes.
It's made for, a hocus pocus world. You know what I mean?
I talked about it last episode. There's a couple of spots on the tree turning a little brown, and now there's more, and I'm all excited. And I went and got my first round of apple cider, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Fall is amazing. Do you have we got my mom one of those portable fire pits.
Oh, yeah.
Because she has do you guys have one?
I've seen them, but I don't have. We have a back patio that I'm on 3 times a year.
Oh, nothing. I will have to say, when it comes to fall, I love nothing more than when it's sweatshirt season. I love a good sweatshirt, and then you have like a fire pit with your friends, and you just sit around and bullshit for. You know what I mean? It's so relaxing to me that I love them. And we finally got my mom because all the nieces and nephews, they're getting older. And so it gives them something to do, and then their aunts and uncles can invade, and it's so much fun.
Every year I say I'm going to do it. Like I said, we have a nice little back patio right outside our back door there, and every year we don't go there. And we do the little power wash every year and make it look all pretty around the 1st of May or so, and then we don't see it until fall.
You need to take, for our listeners, I love interactive. Take some pictures of your back porch. Because I'm imagining it, and I feel like Martha Stewart has come, and because already it feels like that every time you put up a coffee photo for every morning, it just seems so cute and quaint. So we have to see your back porch.
I will do my back porch for you. I'll take a picture of that and put it on up there for you. Yeah, it's cute, and like I said, I love a fire pit. I mean, I'll go to the beach. We used to go to the beach all the time for a fire pit, just relax and talk.
Those are fun too. Because I'm Pacific Northwest and been here for a lot of years, I think I'm the in the woods. You have the fire pit. Like, don't be stupid. People are burning everything down half the time, but get those. I love that. Now I love a beach. And I love that too, but I am drawn to a fire pit in the mountains. I love that. Yeah.
I don't know if it's old age or my addiction to coffee, but now I just want to go to Perkins and make them serve me endless coffee and talk there instead of talking in my backyard. It's horrible. I would do much better to go in my backyard.
My favorite thing about Indulge.
Someone that'll serve me and pour that hot coffee all night long. I'm a happy camper all of a sudden.
Favorite thing about Indulge was in the mornings, breakfast by the pool. You could drink their coffee until they were prying it out of my hands. Because first of all, the coffee was good, but you could just keep going back. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Oh, yeah. I love a good morning coffee. But anytime I should do that in the backyard because it is nice just to sit out there while the weather's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you have 3 leaves that are brown, you need to go and be with them.
Right. I'm going to make a point of it the next 2 weeks. Here,
I want to say really quick. Speaking of coffee, Left and Straight Coffee is. I have now gone through 6 different flavors. I love. It's actually there are ones in there, and that's why I thought I'd get the tasting. Like
the single blends are the best, right? The single flavors and the blends are the best.
I will tell you, I found a cinnamon. I think it's cinnamon caramel. That one actually was not bad, the duo together. Cinnabon. And I think it's because Cinnabon. Because it's the cinnamon part of it is a spice. I'm wondering if that's why. But it's my favorite so far that I've had. But people, you can get, for the price of a pound of coffee, you get 6 coffees to try, which I highly recommend. And then you go through them. Like I make French presses because I feel like you get the most flavor to be able to tell.
Right.
And then you find your perfect, and it gives money not only to support Scott and all of the great stuff he does, but also things go to LGBT
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
I mean, the Left to Straight Coffee Company is just something I did for charity purposes only. I mean, I make 50 cents to a buck off it, but I am able to get
Right.
a couple bucks. Every coffee sold goes to LGBTQ centers or whatever we happen to be
See,
raising
which
money
is
for that
why
month. So we're
I want to
doing
see it.
September is Trevor Project. So any money raised this month goes to
Nice.
Trevor Project.
And this is what I got to say. I think it's such a worthy cause. Plus, coffee's my addiction. I think, guys, let's make it blow up. Let's everybody go buy. I really do like do it. The coffee's good, so you're getting something of value, and good things are happening. I would like to see Left to Straight Coffee Company just have all the queers are out there. Like, let's do it. Like, if I will make commercials, we will do whatever. But Scott created this. It's such a great idea, and I enjoy the coffee. So I just wanted to take a moment and say we do work hard for the community.
I
So,
appreciate
you
that.
know,
Thank you very much. It's just like I
yeah,
said, it's a passion project for me. It's not to make any money for us, it's to make money for the community. It doesn't make a
right.
lot, but I mean, we have, I don't know, we have between 10 and 20 orders a month constantly. So we're able to
See,
give 50 to 200 bucks a month to different charities.
right.
And I really enjoy that. So it's nice.
Let's see if we can get that to 200 to 300 a month. We can do it, guys. I believe in the Bears. So
There
the
you
Bears should
go.
do it. And speaking of, coffee is my. So we're going to talk about leisure today.
Yes.
Coffee really is part of my leisure. I enjoy it. It oddly enough, it helps me relax. Going to coffee, I always go to coffee with my friend Will on Sunday mornings, and I
Nice.
look forward to that. And so, coffee for me is part of my what can I do for me that I don't have to do? It's not about work. It's not about all the things that we do. And so, but we were talking, and one of my questions was, how does leisure change as we advance in age, as the chronological calendar moves up? Because, so tell me, like when you were younger, what's something that you would do that you loved being leisurely, but you don't do that anymore because it's just not of interest?
Well, it changes, but you always find yourself going on big bike rides or something, or going down and doing something. You go and do different things that are a lot more active than you are. And now you want to do things that aren't as bad on the joints, maybe swimming, maybe things like that. You
For
want to
real.
be a little more attention to that way, unless you're
Yeah.
super physical fit, which I am not.
Right. Me
You
neither.
really need to kind of pay attention because there's no point injuring yourself when you're older. So you want to do
No.
things that are a little different. I would go on a big bike ride. I would go on uh, whatever it happens to be. I'd go do something very physical.
Right.
Now I like to do things less physical. I like
Right.
to do a
And
nice long
listen,
walk. I like to go
right.
and do a swim or something like that.
For our friends out there who are like their 60s and they're doing, I love that for you. Um, that it's just not us. But I'm like, you do that if that's your leisure. I love it. And a lot of people discovered running, and which sounds horrible, but they discovered running and riding a bike later in life, and I love that for them. For me, on even another level, I find it fascinating. So my brother's only 2 years younger than I am, so we had a lot of the same interests growing up. I used to be able to play video games for hours. Like, it was our leisure when we would save up money when we were like 13, 14 years old to buy the latest machine. Do you know what's funny about that? Is now I don't have I have other things I'd rather put my mind into, my brain into. My brother still loves it. He does a YouTube show where he plays games and you watch him play the game, and it goes on for weeks, and he does it until he's old. And my brother loves that. He has a company where it's all about old school video games called Gold Club Gamers, for those of you who like that. And I'm like, that's so fascinating because we took two different, and he's got four kids. I'm like, I don't know where you have the time. I have a dog, and I'm like, I don't have time for video games. I've got a dog to take care of. But I do find it changes.
I was
Someone once
never
told,
good at video games. I never had that eye-hand coordination. So I like puzzle games. I was not good at the shoot 'em up games and things like that. I
yeah,
like puzzles and mazes. But I mean, our good friend John Hernandez from Bear World Magazine, his husband Richard does the gaming part.
yes,
GAYMING. That is huge. I mean,
yeah, and
that's
his
their
business partner
biggest magazine
Robin,
right now. Is
yeah.
bigger than the Bear World Magazine. Their gay gaming magazine.
The
That is
gay
a
nerds are
huge thing anymore.
finding their voice, and I
Yeah.
I love that for you. But yeah, it just didn't. I mean, there's gay comic nerds, and I love them, and that's their leisure. And I will say, I was watching an SNL skit the other day, and it was from a few years ago, but it was showing the difference between kids who get action figures from Star Wars and they're so excited to play, and the older versions where they're like, "Don't touch it, keep it in the box."
Right.
But they're both so excited about it, but in different ways.
In
So
different ways.
I do think things change as we get older. And I will say, and it's probably not just the bears, but I will think of it through that perspective because that's where my glasses are. Um, a lot of bears like to use their leisure time to go socialize. They like to use their leisure time to make trips to Palm Springs or down to Miami, or, they like to do those things. And I kind of love that. You know what I mean?
Well, and you talk about coffee. I mean, I can do coffee much easier than I can do cocktails anymore. It used to be cocktails.
Me
I would love a
too.
good happy hour, right?
Yeah.
Now I go coffee because I can remember it afterwards, which is
Right.
always nice,
Right.
and it's a little less expensive.
And
But
recovery doesn't hurt as much.
the
So,
recovery is much easier. Yes,
yes.
exactly. So
Yes.
coffee I find much easier than happy hour anymore.
My body does not metabolize alcohol as it used to, and that's okay. I'm okay with it because I made not the best decisions in my 20s, and that was okay too. I don't make the same decisions as someone who's not 20.
Well, and speaking of puzzles, I think that's something we need to do also as we age. I think you really need to keep that mind active, right? I mean,
Yep.
my mother, 85 years old. I talk about her a lot. She gets the little word search out of the paper every day, and she
Yep.
spends 30 minutes doing the word search, and it keeps her mind active. I mean, you do things like that. A puzzle, it's a crossword puzzle book, whether it's a word
Yeah.
search, whether it's something. Keep your mind active. Do the little rebus thing, whatever it's in there. You need to do that.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's not, I know how science works. It's not a muscle, but it's like a muscle in the way that it grows and continues to work better if we exercise it, if we do something.
Got
I
those
do.
synapses going on
Yeah.
there. You need to keep things
I
moving.
play Tetris on my phone every night before bed, or I'll do Yahtzee on my phone because it makes you have to think. And I had read some article saying it was good for us. So I was like, okay, that's something I'm willing to do. That's my video game now, is Tetris on my phone.
No, I think it's smart. I think that's a great way to do it, and it's better than me watching my cooking commercials on my cooking videos on TikTok all night.
And yet can I tell you, I lose more time. Like, I know better now than to go watch TikTok before bed because I can watch TikTok for hours.
I am bad.
I'm like, I should probably sleep.
Bit, but I was the same thing. I would start. I'm going to do it 15 minutes before bed. Then it went to a half an hour. Then it went to an hour and a half. And then you're down the rabbit hole of it's
crazy. So fun. I'm like, nope, I have to save it for morning when I'm drinking my coffee before work or right when I get home. But I can't do it in between. That's too much.
Right. And I think my camping has changed. I mean, we talked about our love of camping and everything we can in the outdoors, but I'm not sleeping on a tent on the floor anymore. I want to make sure we talk about glamping. I need to make sure there's at least a bunk bed, minimum bunk bed that I have this thick a mattress on is all I need. But
because the back is like, you know what? No, I know you used to, but not anymore. Well, I had a checkup like I always do, go see my doctor. And I've noticed that my hands, I'll wake up and they're a little numb. Like right now, this one's a little numb. It's not always, but it happens more frequently. So I've ignored it for years. I finally asked my doctor. She did a bunch of tests. So your back changes. Like I have a bulging disc in my neck now. And I was like, oh, so that's interesting. And you don't think about these things. Like it would be very detrimental to lay on the ground. When you have this going on, our bodies change. That changes the way we do things. I just told her I'm only level 1, which I didn't know there were levels. So we're happy to be on level 1. So, it's not always surgery, but you got to know what you've got to do. But, sometimes the floor has no long. And let me tell you, speaking of the floor, there are fun things that I use. It used to be kind of dirty and hot if you had sex on the floor. No, thank you. No, thank you. Because if we do, you have to call the paramedics. You're like, I know it's awkward, but call 911. Yeah, it's crazy. Speaking of which, sex can be a healthy leisurely activity as we get older. Just be
Yes,
aware. Be fully aware of what you're getting into.
exactly. But yeah, no, I think things like that we need to talk about that because we've talked about it before. We need to be active and enjoying our life, and there's no point sitting around watching
Right.
TV all day long,
So,
right? But
what would be the ultimate like leisure that would make you relax and what is the ultimate leisure activity you can do?
we talking sexy or we talking in general?
Whatever you if you were like that makes me the most relaxed,
If
whatever
we're
it is.
going sexy, I like I'm all about massage. I'm all about touch.
Oh, I love
Touch is important to me.
yeah.
So I'm all about equal massage of laying in front of a fire if you have a fireplace and doing a massage on the couch, not on the floor like we talked about.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
or just sitting in front of a chair or on a chair in front of somebody. I love the touch
Right.
aspect of it. So I love massage for a leisurely activity. It's good for your body too, honestly.
It
I
is.
mean, you don't have to be good at it, but it actually
Yeah.
is good for to stimulate lymph nodes and things like
It
that.
is very good.
And
And
stimulate
the
other things on
lymphatic
occasion as well.
system. Yeah. Can we just talk though? I mean, you don't have to be good at it, but you know how there's levels. Have you ever had the friend where they touch you and you feel like you're gonna die because they're so not good at it? I had a friend for years who thought he was amazing, but seriously, it was so painful. It was so painful. So know your strengths and where to
No,
use them.
yeah, it's just, I usually get a massage once a month because my body's
Oh,
just
that's
yucky.
so
So I'll get
good.
about at least once a month. But I have this one guy that I go to this place where it kind of rotates through. I don't have a person, so to speak. But
Right.
this one guy's thumbs, I don't know what he does if he's playing video games all day and exercising. He will get in there and it's like, don't touch me ever again. It's like it hurts so bad. Oh my goodness.
I am going to press charges because that was assault.
Yes. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
everybody always makes fun of me. Listen, no shame in the game. I have had many jobs in my life. And I worked in a med spa for a long time. So we had massage therapists, and we had 5 of them. And as an employee, you were allowed to go because they wanted you to know how to suggest the right person. And there was a lovely man, lovely. He was Russian was his first language, but he knew how to speak English. But it was a little. But I will tell you this: I think there's a cultural difference because his fingers went places that I don't think were part of the massage.
Can
And
I
you're
tell
like,
you
whoa,
something?
you're getting up there.
Can I be honest with you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I love a massage. Like I said, I get one at least once a
Right?
month, right? So the trick that I found, I recommend looking in your neighborhood for a massage therapy school because
Yes.
they're cheap. The one here is $20 for an
Yeah.
hour. And so
Nice.
Palm Springs, I always go. There was a massage school there, so whenever I go to Palm Springs, I try to get
Right?
in school. But because it's a long wait because they don't have many students in the summer there because it's so
Yeah.
hot, I'll go wait.
You're right.
So I get one massage in Palm Springs for $20. I'm all excited. It's like I need another one. So
That's brilliant.
I looked for the other one for another person, and it was more than I thought, and it wasn't advertised that way, and it was a little
Yeah.
more of a massage than I was expecting in Palm Springs this past month. It's like, ooh, okay, very nice.
Was it truly happy at the end?
Yeah, it
We'll
could
say
have
it
been.
like that.
I didn't ask for it.
Go-
He asked if I wanted. I said no. Where you're
Yeah.
at is fine. Let's stop there. We're good right there. But
I
yeah,
love that for you. I love it.
Palm Spring. That's what it's all about there, I guess. Because I told my friend, she says, "Yeah, it's what every massage parlor here does. They all do that." It's like,
Interesting.
okay.
I remember that in LA a lot. But yeah, well, way to go. And if they're cute, I don't know. Sometimes it's worth it. I'm just saying.
But yeah, like I said, I do a massage once a month. I go to the massage therapy school here. $20. I mean, you can afford that. You
Amazing.
go
Right?
$100 for a lot of these play massage envies and
Yeah,
these chains and everything.
that's
No, thank
brilliant.
you. Yes.
That's how they also have like hair salons. That's when we used to do a lot of filming back in the
Yeah.
day. We would always go. We have a Paul Mitchell school, And so you'd go there, it's a lot cheaper, they're learning. And honestly, the ones who are allowed to work on the public, they have some training behind them. It's not someone came off the street and they're like, well, practice on their head. So it's actually good. They know enough, and they just need the experience to hone their skill. So yeah, it's a smart way. I need to find out, Kurt, get on that. I need to find out if there is a massage school in
You need
Spokane.
to look for it. It's like there's one almost in every city or major city, so I think you'd have one there. And it usually is combined with a hair school. They'll do
so we have to check out.
They do hair and spa training now.
Right.
So
I've been afraid. I need to talk to my doctor because I've been afraid to do it until I deal with the disc. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't want to someone broke my neck and that's how I died. I don't want that.
Right, exactly.
But I'm very curious because that's a great idea. And massage, you're right, is so good for you. Yeah.
It's very good for you. I mean, it really does. It kind of promotes circulation when you're older and everything, and it does very good for you. So I enjoy that a lot.
Do you know what I've also discovered is this is a kind of an offshoot of that, but my doctor recommended, hey, you should invest in a foot bath. I bought one from Amazon, and it's actually so good. The water heats up. I have the kind that have the rollers in it. There's a pumice stone built in. But I have to say, it's very relaxing. You do that for 20, 30 minutes. That's good for you. And talk about helping circulation. Yeah, and I feel like I'm just at the spa. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And going back, I'm just changing hard gears here all of a sudden, going back to leisure things that I like when you talk about that are good for you is any kind of an arts and crafts thing, like learning, taking up the different potteries or painting or needlepoint or anything like that.
Right.
I think that's a great way to keep your mind sharp, to have a leisure activity that's not a lot of money.
Look at Tom Daly. I mean, that man, he was knitting. He knits everywhere he goes. I think that's amazing. Yeah, I agree. I am very, very bad at the arts and crafts part of the world. I very much believe that, like Dimitri Martin says, that what is that? Glitter is the herpes of the crafts world. So true. But I can't, I love doing the vino and paint and all of those kinds of places where you do, but they're all awful. So I did not get that. We all know Kurt. We talk about Kurt. He's producer. He produces all my stuff. He's a painter, and it's amazing what he's able to create. I can't do that. Even if Bob Ross himself is back from the dead and he's teaching me, doesn't matter.
I have no that's my one downfall. I have no artistic ability whatsoever. I can't.
But it's fun. Fun to try. Fun to try. Yeah.
I can play with the digital stuff a little bit, but I can't draw worth beans. That's for darn sure.
Right? I love that so much. Oh, Kurt is so good. He just put on my magic screen over here that if you're in Spokane and you listen to us, we do have schools. So we should. Okay, that's it. We're gonna get massages from students, and everybody who's listening from Spokane, look it up. There's something called Carrington College, Therapeutic Connections. Okay, you're brilliant, Scott. That's a brilliant tip.
It's money saving for seniors on a budget, so I like it.
Yeah,
it's a very good thing.
You are so smart. So everybody takes his advice. That sounds amazing. I'm gonna put that in my life as soon as my spine is okay. But I love it.
Talk about more leisure things. I mean, we work closely with the Pride Center in Palm Springs when we were down there, and they have such great activities anymore. They got programs for women, programs for men. They have yoga. They have stretching. And then I found a new place after you left. I wish I would have found it while you were there. It's a place called Play, Play, and it's open from 10 in the morning till 8 at night, a little coffee bar, and they have games, and they organize stuff for seniors and for people. Wow. It's just a fun little thing to do. They'll do crafts some nights, they'll do games some nights, they'll do different things, and it's just another leisure thing that doesn't cost a lot of money. You pay
Brilliant.
A cup of coffee.
Well, another thing to remind everybody,
amazing.
Pick a hobby, pick a leisure activity, because it's good for mental health. And we already talked about how it's good for your brain. So it's fun. And if it makes you social, that's a plus as well. We isolate more. Statistics show that we isolate more as we get older. So I love that. And I can't believe I never thought to look up these things. Like, knowing that these things exist, I think the schools and everything, it's a little more attainable than we sometimes think that they are.
Right. Exactly. And it's just like you said, and if it gives you a chance to kind of, you can, things you can do with somebody or by yourself too. I mean, a massage you can do by yourself. You can bring your friends down there. Leisure things you
Exactly.
can go have. You can meet different people out there. You can bring friends with you. So it's like it's.
When you are in a relationship, do you prefer to be the giver of the massage or the taker of the massage?
I am a damn good giver, but I prefer to get one. I'm a greedy
Right?
little, so it's like give me that massage. No,
Yeah.
I love both. I think I love doing it. Like I said, touch is very important to me, so I love
Right.
the pinch, the giving as much as I do receiving. But I do
Yeah.
like
Affection
getting,
is your love language, is what I'm
yeah,
hearing here. Yeah.
very much so. Very
See,
much so.
here's the thing. I always give the Will and Grace answer to dating, and that is I am the rose and my partner is the gardener. I don't think I get. First of all, I'm not good at it. Second of all, uh-uh. But if they want to give me a massage, we're good.
There you go.
I admit it, it's selfish. Listen, I'm not selfish in bed. I'm just saying there are certain things I'm selfish of. I want to give a shout out really quick. We were talking about the demure and mindful girl.
Yes,
So
my
if you guys haven't looked at it yet, you can follow her on TikTok. Her name is Jules, Jools LeBron, LeBron. I think I'm going to track her down later and just follow because just funny, just funny.
Who knew that that was such a thing that you can create a trend like that? This
I
I don't know how
know.
it works, but somehow she created this trend and
Yeah.
monetized it where she's able to spend. She's trying to transition, and it's going to help kids
Yeah. And it gave
transitioning.
her, yeah.
How fun is that? I wish I was that creative. I mean, we're pretty
I
good, but
know. And I think a lot of times when it comes to TikTok trends, it's an accident. So I'm hoping that we will accidentally become our own TikToker. But that reminds me is the ultimate leisure activity for me is anything that involves laughter or comedy. Love
okay.
it. That's why I'll go to a live comedy show, even if they're not a national name. I'll go to a national name comedy show. Um, Anything, or I'll just go to a hilarious comedy movie. But for me, the ultimate leisure always includes laughter.
I love it.
So, and that's all I need. And, it relaxes you. It really does. So I love that as well.
I think that's
So,
great. It reduces those endorphins and it gets you
yeah,
smiling. I mean, just
yeah,
smiling. If you just make yourself smile each day, it's
right.
surprising. I mean, who's the comedian? I love Nate Bargatze. Do you watch
I
Nate?
love,
He
love.
is so good, clean, very good. But I
Yes.
mean, it's funny. He talks one of his gigs, one of his routines is about the smart brain and the dumb brain. He says, your dumb brain's so dumb that you can trick it into being smart by saying that you just tell it that you're being happy. And it's like, weren't you there for the conversation? Didn't you know that we weren't happy, that we're just
Yeah.
making ourselves that way? But yeah, you
Oh,
can trick yourself into being happy just by
yeah.
smiling. I love that.
Right? It's all about perspective. And he is hilarious. He is one
Funny.
of my favorites.
So funny.
I love it. And we want to hear from you. What is your favorite leisure activity? We don't care whatever it may be. You have the money and you like to always go to Greece. I have a neighbor and he always goes on like world tours on a big ship. That's his thing. He's
Nice.
been gone all summer. I think we're going to see him next month. But what is your favorite leisure activity? What brings you joy? What helps you relax? Do you have tips like Scott has, which is this amazing thing of you can. I love having my hair cut because I feel so good after. You can
Yes.
go to somebody who's not going to charge you $80 to get your hair did. Go get a massage if you find a school. And like you said, there's schools everywhere. So I love that. If you have tips, share them. We want to know.
Podcastbears@gmail.com. Podcastbears@gmail.com. We love hearing from you every week.
Yeah.
To hear your ideas. Like Jonny says, whether you go on these extravagant leisure things or you're on a budget, those are even more
Right.
important to know for a lot of us. We talk 2 weeks ago about retirement and being on a budget and learning how to do more with less. So we'd love to hear your ideas. That'd be amazing.
So much fun. Well, this was a blast. I love finding ways to relax because I'm high strung. So.
I do too. It's been so much fun. And I think in 2 weeks, we're going to start talking about, we have a new season of television starting, which, I am a huge television addict.
So fun.
There's some great movies coming out. So this has been fun, though. It's a great conversation.
It has been. Yeah. So remember, guys, join us every Monday. We either do it live or you get a discussion like this. And we'll have more guests in the future. So it'll be a lot of fun. But until then, Scott.
See you next time. Look for us on Instagram next Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears into what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate. I take a carbon chop to circumnavigate. Steal my heart, the Latin perk.